Today we're doing my form 5 with the X2D. We're going to do a full form 5. We're not doing it abbreviated. Just cover everything we need to cover. Alright, so we'll start with annual online written exam. I have completed that. Review for CAP R70-4 and supplements. So 70-4 and supplements is our rules and regulations. So basically it governs how we are flying our aircraft, and kind of rules that we need to do with that. Also discusses how we need to enter all of the information with the aircraft, and all the crew requirements that go along with it. Review flight release procedures. So we have to go in wimmers and fill out sorties to fly. Along with that, we have to do an ORM. So today we did our ORM already. We got a score of 16. So we are good to self-release. If we got above a certain amount, we would have to go to our flight release officer and have him release our flight. And if it's above his authority to release, we would just not fly that day. We would reschedule. Review wimmers and ORM requirements. So again, we have to go into wimmers, put in our sorties, get flight release to make sure that we are good to fly this aircraft. And we've went over ORM. Like I said, that's discussing weather topics, the crew, how well we are rested, and time and grade, basically. How often we've done this, how much time we have flying these drones. That all goes into the ORM. CAP regulation 76-1 and supplements, that has been redacted, so it is no longer useful. So we are not going off that anymore. Emergency procedures. So today, if we have a fire with the drone, we're going to be landing in the asphalt here. It's on the opposite side of the camera. If we have a flyaway, we're going to start by trying to reconnect with the drone. We'll do a return to home feature first. We'll walk out and try to restart the controller, make sure and try to establish communications. And if we do have a true flyaway, we will report that as required. Electronic flight logs, I have mine all in paper log. So I'm not filing electronically yet, but I do have paper logs started. Certificates and documents, I do have my Part 107. Go ahead and get it out real quick for you. So I have it, it is current. Also got ID if you don't know who I am. We do have our IRF for drone. We went over that in the previous video, but we can go over that again. Attaining weather information. So right now we looked at weather again. We are still in the 13 knots gusting. KP index is 1.67. We got clear sunny skies, visibility for over 10 miles. So we've got good weather today to actually fly. On weight and balance, we don't have anything added to the drone except for the RFID, and that is centered in the drone, so it's not going to throw off the balance of the drone itself. Everything else is manufacturer specifications, basically what it came out with from the manufacturer. Demonstrated lance filing. So I have AirHub on mine that I do the lance with. Basically all we're going to go in here is we're going to go find ourselves on the map. We're going to look at our airspace, and I have to sign in to do the lance, but we would sign in, basically say how high we're flying, where we're flying at, the parameters we're flying in, how long we intend to fly, what time frame that's going to be, and then we'd submit it. And as long as we get a confirmation back saying you're good to fly, then our lance has been filed successfully. But we are in Class E airspace today, and we don't have any air traffic around us right now, so we've been watching that as we go. Okay, Determine airspace restrictions. So again, we are in Class 8E airspace, so we do not have to have a lance to fly. Again, but we are always watching for manned aircraft and making sure that we don't have anything around us that is going to interfere with our operations, and we're not going to interfere with theirs. We always give way to manned aircraft. So if we do have somebody that's coming close to us, we're just going to land, let them go by, and then we'll resume our operations. Aircraft systems, so we are flying the X2D. It's sitting here beside us, so we'll show that to you later. Aero medical factors, so I am safe. I've got Robert here. Robert, are you safe as well?
I'm safe.
Okay. Robert is safe. He's going to be our visual observer for the day. He's also going to keep our 109. So we do have our times being logged for the X2. All right, visual inspections. So we're going to go ahead and visually inspect our aircraft.
Okay.
So again, we do have the X2 today. So we're making sure that everything is locked in place. So as you can see, we've got everything clicked, locked into place. All of our blue marks line up with each other. We're going to check our motors and our propellers, make sure everything is spinning freely. All of our propellers look good. That one's spinning freely. And depending whose video you watch first, it's 12 that we have.
Okay. There's a reason I fly drones and not do math for a living.
Yeah. So all of our propellers are good. Motors are freely spinning. We don't have any cracks in the casing. We don't have any cracks in our arms or anything like that. I do want to mention we did have a swollen battery on the last flight, so we did set that out to talk to you about and see what procedures we need to go about doing next with that. Like I said, we do have our RFID chip on here, module, and it is secured in place. The other thing we're going to check is make sure all of our cameras are good and clean. Since we did just fly it, those are all good. Our antenna's on and secured. Check the cameras on the bottom side here. Those are all clean. And again, we are checking for any kind of cracks, which I do not see any. We do have the camera, our main camera on here. It is free in moving, and it's also clear on the lenses. So our aircraft is safe to fly. Yep. So we'll get to flying that here in a little bit. We also have a brand new fresh battery on this. That's at 100% that we just checked. The RFID module is still showing 3 bars. So we've got plenty of charge on that. And our controller has 3 bars. So we're about 75% on that. So we still have plenty of controller life. Starting engines, we'll do that here in a little bit. Sensor operation. So use a checklist would be our next one. I do have the SkyDO X2D checklist on me. Somebody should have been trash in the pockets. Alright, so we're going to go through our checklist. Alright, so check charge level on the batteries and controller. We just did that. We're at 100% on the battery on the drone. The controller's at 3 bars, so we still have enough. We've already removed it from the case. We did perform our pre-flight inspection. We did check our propellers, all of our motors, any cracks on the casing or the actual airframe itself. So we did unlock and flip out arms, like I said. Held in place correctly as it's supposed to be. Before we fly, we're going to go out and place it on the asphalt for the clean flat surface. So when we get to doing that, we'll show you that as well. We removed the controller from the case. Like I said, I've got that on. I've also got it on the strap. So like I said, I'm not gonna lose it. It's not gonna drop. Flip up power control. So we've already got the controller turned on as well, since we've been flying. Like I said, the control powers up. So we are going to be flying in skills mode. I won't mention that. So we're going to make sure that I can actually fly a drone, and we're not just out here doing mapping. So then go into the controller and set settings, which we'll do here in a little bit. So everything else is talking about the QGC, which we are not doing today. Like I said, we are doing skills. So everything in the manual is covered. Talk about that, I guess. So we do have our IRF. We did, huh?
UIF.
UIF, not IRF. UIF. So we did do an inspection. So we will refill this out, make sure our data is current. So we'll get that all filled out. We do have a 109 here, 109U, which we are keeping a log as well with that. So we're not going to write on this log until we're done and we get the full times in. We do have another quick reference guide in here. We do have another ORM. Like I said, we already filled one out, so we're not going to use this one. But like we already had an ORM done, and like I said, we came up with a score of 16. We're talking about our RFID. Like I said, we've already went through that. Made sure it's working. We've got it on DroneNet, so it is actually displaying. It's talking about powering on the drone. And we've got our contact information. So we do have our UIF. It has been reviewed. So our crew briefing, I get to tell Robert this time. Robert's going to be the visual observer. So Robert, we're going to be doing a form 5 today. I'll be the pilot in command. You'll be my visual observer. So like you said, I'm going to have you keep logs today. Keep the 109.
Be happy to do it.
Get the drone in sight, and we're going to do basic maneuvers. So we're going to do the straight and level flight, square pattern, point of interest, and those maneuvers. So crew is briefed. Serial area procedures. So we're not going to be talking about anything that's not mission pertinent. We are making sure that we don't have anybody interrupting us while we are flying. We've actually got it's kind of cleared out here, so we don't have a lot of people sitting around watching us today. So that's been nice. Post-flight procedures. So once we do land and we're done for the day, we are going to do a post-flight. Make sure all of our paperwork's filled out. Make sure the drone is in good condition for the next flight, and we're going to check battery status on everything. Radio communication and phone contacts. So Robert's got his phone on the tripod. I've got my phone. Robert's also have a radio in his truck if we do need it. But like I said, we are not in airspace today, and we don't have any planes around. Nobody's low flying today, so we are not using a radio currently. Again, with airport traffic patterns, we don't have an airport near us today, but if we were in Joplin airspace or in Springfield airspace, we'd follow our Lance, wait, make sure it's approved, and then we would be checking on what air traffic we have going on for the day, and that's where we would use the radio and see who's doing what in that day, and make sure we're watching out for everybody coming in or going out. Normal takeoff and climb. So once we take off, we're going to take off. We're going to get up. We're going to do our performance checks. So we're going to make sure left is left, right is right, forward and back is as supposed to be. We're going to yaw left and right. We're also going to climb and descend and make sure all of our control checks are right. And then we're going to climb at an angle using the best possible climb rate. Crosswind takeoff and climb, that's for fixed wing only, along with the ground team launch, so we're not going to cover that today. Do we want to go over night flight, since I'm not qualified for that yet?
That's your. Go ahead and cover it.
Okay.
And if you're qualified, great. If you're not, you're not.
Okay. We'll go ahead and go over night flight. So physiological aspects of night flying. So just as a mental space, when it's dark outside, we don't want to be looking at lights right before we go in and start flying. So we're going to kind of sit in the dark for 30 minutes or so, make sure our eyes adjust, and make sure what we're seeing is actually what we're seeing. Along with that is we're going to make sure we have at least one observer, but preferably two to help us out. So along with that, like I said, it's either when you're flying, you need to pick the screen or you need to pick the drone to be watching. I like to be watching the drone. I'm the opposite of Robert. I like to watch where I'm going, have somebody else watch the screen, make sure I'm getting in where I'm supposed to be at. But that's a big part of that. Preparation and personal equipment. We haven't done much night flying, but as Robert and I have talked about, he likes the hockey pucks that glow. So we can set those out as landing and takeoff measures. That way we can see where we're going as far as that is concerned. And we've also talked about the strobe lights. So we don't want to take off, turn on the strobe lights, and blind everybody that's on the operation. So we're going to take off. We're going to get a little bit above us. Then we'll turn on strobes and we'll watch the drone from there. That way we're not ruining our night vision. The same thing coming in. We're going to come in, hover about 20 feet above us, turn off the strobes. That way we're not blinding everybody coming in. And we'll use our hockey pucks as a landing pattern that we've already had preset. Aircraft and airport lighting. So like I said, we've got the strobes on the drone. So those will have to go out for 3 statute miles while we're flying. They can be dimmed if we're flying in close or if they're going to be too bright for our operation. If we're blinding our observers, they're not going to do any good. So airport lighting. We're not operating near an airport today, but we would be watching the airport to see what's going on. Height orientation and navigation. So we're always going to be flying in back towards us, but instead of flying in at an angle to our landing spot, we're going to fly in right above us. Like I said, descend to about 20 feet, turn off our strobes, and then land. Same thing going out. We're going to go up without the strobes on, turn on strobes, and then we'll go at an angle or go out straight. Kind of a little bit different than daytime flying. So the navigation, we're always keeping eyes on lights. So occasionally we might do a performance check just to make sure we know which way the drone is facing. All right, on to emergency procedures. A major emergency approach and landing. So if we just have something coming off the drone or the drone's flying in an unusual attitude, we're going to come in at an angle as best we can towards us, bring it down as quickly as we can. If it's a fire, we're going to aim for the asphalt. Just so we don't catch anything else on fire and we're not creating a bigger problem than we already have. So that's our emergency approach and landing. System and equipment malfunctions, just cover that. So if we do have something going on that we notice it's flying weird, we're going to bring it down as quickly as they can towards us. If we do have it, if we have birds in the area or something like that, or if we get a plane in the area, we're just going to bring it straight down and land as quickly as we can. And that goes along with the emergency descent, is we're just going to bring it down as quickly as we can. Safety awareness, vigilance, risk management, judgment. Like I said, we've already reviewed our ORM. We're always watching weather. So if you have a storm cell just pop up, we're just going to stop flying for the day. We're not going to risk the drone and ourselves safety. The other thing is we're going to do with our crew resource management, make sure everybody's good to fly. We're not getting tired. We're not getting worn out. And along with that is we're going to watch crowds, make sure we're not getting crowded around, and they're not impeding what we're trying to do. Battery management. So at all phases of the flight, we're going to be checking our batteries. Make sure our battery condition's good. Like I said, we did have a problem with a battery earlier that the case was starting to, or the battery itself was swelling. So we did check this battery that we put on, made sure it's not swelling and it's in good condition and it's fully charged. Use of crew resource management. Like I said, we're safe. We're going to continue to make sure we're safe throughout the whole flight. Ground handling procedures. Basically, we're not stepping on the aircraft. And use of risk management, go, no go. Like I said, we've done our ORM. We know we're safe. So we are our release officers at this point. And like I said, we're going to continuously monitor the risk. All right, the rest is instructor pilots and recreational pilot specific. So,
All right, sir.
Okay. So we're going to go put the drone on the asphalt, and we're going to take off from the asphalt. We got quite a bit of a slope here, so we're not going to take off on a slope.
password again. 36 1 2 36 1 1 2 36 1
So, gonna go ahead and power on the drone. Try to connect.
powering on. So one thing about this drone is the signal comes out this way, not this way. And so if you stay 10 feet away and aim this at it, you'll get the fastest response.
Okay. Alright, so we are connected. We'll go in settings. Flight mode, we are already set at scale, so we don't have to change that. Return behavior. Return height is 144 feet, which is good for us. That's going to clear everything we need to do. Clear. Drone looks, always away from return. Return speed, we get at 15 miles per hour, so that's going to be good. Return type, GPS. Flight limits, pilot ceiling, we're at 390 feet, so that's below legal limit, so that's good. We don't have indoor set. We got standard obstacle avoidance. We don't want to get too close to anything. We do have our strobes on. We got gimbal speed at 50%. We're not going to invert it. Flight speed. We are in control mode 2. So our right stick's going to control forward, back, left, right like we want it to. Our left stick's going to control our elevation and our yaw. So we have all of our settings set for what we want to fly. All right, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and begin flight. Okay. We're going to check, make sure we're clear, make sure nobody's coming close, and we're going to go ahead and launch.
Launching.
Launching. Okay, we have engines started. We are up. We're going to get a little bit of height on here. Alright, control check. We got forward. We got back. We got our right. We got our left. We got our elevate. We got our descent. Alright. All that. Okay, we're going to go basically fly around us. So we're going to go over to this field over here. So we're pointing towards the field. Get a little bit more height. All right, Robert, what is our first maneuver we got to do?
First maneuver, sir, is straight and level flights.
Straight and level flights. So we're going to creep forward real nice and easy. sure we keep eyes on the drone the entire time. All right, we'll go about to that point, and we'll bring it back. All right, since we have to do this for 20 minutes, I'm gonna yaw to the right, and we're gonna fly horizontally. I'm gonna go stick left. Oh, right about there. And we'll bring it back. So I'm gonna do stick right towards us. She's getting a little squirrely today.
Yeah, it is.
All right about there. We're gonna yaw to the right again. And we're gonna fly in reverse. So backwards is gonna take it away from us. And we'll go out to about that point right there. And forward's gonna bring it to us. And just so we do it in all directions, we'll yaw to the right again. All right, we made a 90-degree yaw. And the right stick's gonna take it away from us. Right about there. And we'll bring left stick and it's gonna bring it back to us. Maybe. There we go. All right, we are back above us. I'm gonna yaw to the right again and face it away from us. All right. I've got 88% on battery.
Okay. Next one will be square pattern.
Square pattern, okay. So we're gonna fly straight ahead to about that point. We're gonna stop, we're gonna make a left. We're gonna fly left, not make a left. This is not NASCAR. All right, to about that point, then we're stopped. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna stop there, we're gonna take it right. And we have completed square pattern 1. So, next one we'll do is we'll just go straight out. Stop right about there. I'm going to yaw to the left. A little too far. There we go. We'll go straight again. We'll make it to our left corner. Right about there. We'll yaw left again. Come back to our right back corner. Come on. Right about there. We're going to yaw left again. Take it back to our start point. All right, we're going to yaw left to face forward again. And we'll just do it in reverse order this time.
Okay.
So, I'm going to go straight, and that's going to go to our bottom left corner here. Stop right about there. I'm going to yaw to the right. It's going to go up to our top left corner. Stop right about there. Yaw to the right again. We're going to go to our top right corner. And we're going to yaw around to the right again. And we're going to come back towards us. And we're going to yaw around and make sure it's facing away from us. All want to do any more square patterns?
It's up to you. So you know the way you want to milk the puck?
Oh, we can, let's do a figure 8.
Okay.
Do figure 8?
All right.
All right. So I'm going to point towards the middle of our field. I know you can't see it, but we're going to point towards the middle of the field. We're going to go, I'm going to yaw left into it, to our corner.
Pretty good at that.
And coming back across our field, back to our starting point, we're going to yaw right.
I like how you did that too, because if you're teaching somebody how to fly a radio-controlled airplane, the way you're doing your figure 8, you're actually teaching them how to approach the runway from either direction.
All right.
That's good.
So we're going to come back across. I'm going to go left this time. Come on, keep it straight. A little too much yaw that time. So, and we'll go to this other corner, and we'll just do it crossways. The other direction. So you don't get to see the fun part, Brian. And it's going to come back towards us. And we'll go ahead and move on to our next procedure once we get in line.
Okay. Next one will be a point of interest.
Point of interest. All right. And we get pointed back away from us. Now our better percentage, that's 73. All right, so point of interest, we're going to gain some altitude here. I'm going to pick a different light post than you. I'm going to pick that one that's straight ahead in front of that tree. It's a little bit bigger one to see.
Okay.
So I'm going to yaw down. So if you would watch my drone while I watch the screen.
Gotcha.
I'm going to get my light post in check. Alright, I'm going to go right first. So I'm going to get my right speed set. I'm going to start yawing back to the left.
Got birds in the area.
Birds in the area. We'll let them go through. They're not bothering us right now, but we'll get them out of the area first. Continue. Alright, we got one more loner. Okay. He's out of the area now. So we'll go ahead and continue. We're just going nice and slow, make sure we get a nice picture of this. And we know we don't want to get in too fast. It's going to ruin our image quality. Make somebody sick that's looking at it. Alright, we made about 180. And I still have our light post for keeping track of insight.
way up there.
I don't think I got the zoom on it at all. So you were way out there when we were doing it too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. That's why I told you we were getting a little bit over the highway.
Get a little bit of altitude so I can maintain visual.
Yes.
That should be good.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll continue on. And we're coming back around on this.
You are probably beyond the highway. You're right over here.
Let's go ahead and bring it back in. That was way up there. Let's get clear of the birds. When I was watching you, you were quite a bit out there too. Okay. There, I'll gimble down a little bit more. Do a closer over it. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and do it the opposite way, and we'll try to keep it in closer this time.
Okay. I still got visual.
Put it back in. Alright, we have done a full orbit in each direction. How much time do we have left?
You're at your 20 minutes, but we still need to do approach to landing. I think instead of doing a landing, just show me how to approach the landing, and then I'll have you take back off, and we'll do a recovery from unusual altitude.
So approach landing, we're going to drop some altitude, land it butt towards us, so we're going to have to rotate. Right here, we're going to do 180 yaw.
Okay.
About there. We're going to clear landing and we're going to go ahead and press land.
So, if you want, I'll take control and I'll put it in an unusual pattern.
Okay. Your controller?
My aircraft.
I'll go ahead and watch over here. Should recover everything.
Without looking at the screen, I'm going to give you the control to your aircraft.
My aircraft?
Your aircraft.
Alright, we're going to do a controller check. Alright, so notice I push forward, it's going to go to my left, I pull back, it's going to my right. So I'm going to yaw 90 degrees to the right. I notice if I pull back, it's coming towards us.
Okay.
Back towards us. We're going to do a 180 because we're crossing over us. We'll make sure that nobody else is coming around us. Right about there. So we're going to do a push to land. Landing. And gunners on the ground. Engines are off. And we've got 27% battery. Retrieve the drone. Turn battery off. Okay, drone is off. And while I'm holding it, we'll do our post flight. So, on our post flight, same as our pre-flight, we're checking our propellers, all 12 of them. Make sure we don't have any chips or damage. Everything's rotating freely. We're good. We're good. Everything's spinning freely. Okay. And we'll begin folding everything in. Should probably need to move the RFID first, don't we? We'll go ahead and power that down since we're done flying for the day.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, RFID is off. Hand that to you. There we go. And again, while we're doing this, we're checking to make sure we don't have any cracks or anything. Alright, we have push flighted, we're wrapped up, drone is secured.
Inspect the battery.
Inspect the battery, yes, we do. Had problems with the first one, so we're going to make sure we don't have any other problems going on. So we're going to slide the battery off.
It slid off a lot easier than mine did.
Yes. So we're not swelling like we did the previous battery. When we did land, we were at 27%, so we'll make sure that we do charge it once it cools off a little bit because it is a little warm. So, all right.
Very good.
All right.
Good.
Need to cover anything else?
I think we're good.
I think we covered everything.
Stop the recording.
So,
All right.
all right. Have a good evening, Brian.